Hello everyone, and again, thank you for joining us for another BFT Tech video. I don't know if you got to see our videos earlier. I recommend you check them out. We went over the sub, the high voltage hydraulic sub motor, and we went over the CPS box. Well, the CPS box was the upgrade to how the sub comes by itself. Well, this is an upgrade to the CPS box. This is a different foundation box that you can use. In my opinion, I think it's a little better, a little bit more sturdy. It's really up to you which one you like, but we're gonna go over the FCS box this time. So again, it comes with another top, just like the sub does come, so you'll have an extra cover for later. Important to get the SX or the DX correct so you get the cap in the right spot for your manual release. And speaking of the manual release, if you notice over here on the sub operator, you have this little like plastic catch tube, right? So like to kind of help you get to the manual release when it's down inside the box. So this bolts right up to the sub where it's supposed to go. And of course you get a different key, a little triangle tip. You get a different key to be able to stick in there and open and close your motor when needed. Again, like the prior video that I mentioned with the CPS and everything, very important to do the indexing first before we get to this spot, right? So you have, your CPS box bolted down in the ground to where it's supposed to be. You got your drainage set up the way it's supposed to be, and you have your operator indexed correctly in the closed position. You will notice there is a lower hub and an upper hub, right? And there's a little grub screw here on the side. So for me, I notice it's a little easier to have the grub screw facing out depending which way you're doing it. So since this is an SX, we have it indexed. You want to place it towards the top, how it would be, and then move it over one tooth. So one tooth over, and then you just let her slide right down in there. Give it a little tap. There we go. And get her in there. There it is. All right. It's supposed to be snug. All right. So we got her in there, and you notice it's off one, so that's kind of like a 65-degree angle from where it was when it was sitting correctly. So yeah, that's in there. Again, it was straight, like if it's indexed, you're not moving the motor, and then you move it over one tooth and then slide her right in. All right, so now she's ready to be, she's indexed properly and she's got the hub on correctly, okay? And now we come to the second hub, right? This is the spot that gets hooked up. This is the hub that gets hooked up to the bottom of your gate. So you'd weld this to the bottom of your gate. Again, this is load bearing. This could be your bottom hinge as well. Or again, if you saw the other videos that I went over, this can also be welded on top of your hub to go inside. Excuse me, I had this backwards. This can be welded on top of your hub, and this gets welded to the bottom of your gate, kind of for like an easy mechanism. I went over those a little bit in the other videos, just showing you that you can also use this add-on for this. All right, so now comes the part that's important, why indexing should have been done. You'll notice on this hub, you have a little mark, right? And on this box, again, you have a DX and an SX, correct? So since we're doing SX, right, for this demo video, the door, this is bolted to the door, this is welded to the door. This little piece right here, the little hub, should be towards the SX. So you're putting your door right now in the closed position with the SX facing towards that line, right? So it goes in there, we get it in the hole, lined up. Right now the door's in the closed position. Now there's a reason for that, right? Because you notice there's the notch on this side is off to an angle, right? So what you do now is you can move the gate to the 45-degree angle, and once you move the gate to the 45-degree angle, you also run your motor till the motor is running in this direction, right? So you give power to your motor runs this way, gets placed perfect straight and down, and then of course you physically moved your gate to 45 degrees. And why do you do that? To get the gate out of your way and to line up the top hub with the bottom hub, right? It's a little hard to move by hand. Remember, this stuff is made for gates. But again, so you move your gate to the 45 degrees, that will turn the hub. The direction needs to be straight. You run your motor till it's straight. So your motor now, the shaft, and the gate technically are both in their brains at 45 degrees. You slide the motor in as before, straight down, bring it around the top. Once you have it in here, another benefit, in my opinion, over the CPS box is this actually bolts down. into your bracket, and just bolts it and snugs it down to the bottom. And of course you have these brackets here to hold it from shifting. But I believe that, you know, this one, the way it bolts down is a little different, a little easier. And then of course, future removal of these operators are also nicer because you put the gate to the 45, it's out of your way, and then you can slide a new operator on and off a lot easier, just removing on and off this hub. Again, never a bad idea to fill this up with anti-seize and also fill this up with anti-seize. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just good for the long term. You know, these motors last a very long time, so when it comes time to change them, you want to be able to get them off. Again, you know, you have the add-on arm. Thank you for joining us. You know, there's not too much more to go over. If you have anything you want us to do, please reach out, let us know, subscribe, and hit like. Thank you.